Hello and welcome to the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. This is the Aftermash. Episode 2 of the Aftermash, to be specific. This is the show where we surely will shoot the shit and see where the breeze takes us. We will talk sports, as always. We can't really get away from it. But we'll also just see where we end up. We'll talk about whatever is on our minds. Now, I think we're going to kick it off with Harvey today, I do believe. There has been some things happening in the world of soccer and elsewhere, but not necessarily enough to make it worthwhile doing a full podcast on it. So, Harvey, what's on your mind?
Oh, that's a question you should maybe rephrase. Regarding sports only.
Let's start sports specific.
Sports specific.
Break the listeners in.
So, I mean, over the past couple of weeks, I remember talking about this on an old episode of Mix and Mash, and it was the Saudi Bat golf tournament or golf event, the LIV.
Oh, aye, this Rogue thing. I've heard about it. Not that I'm interested, I've got to say. However, I have heard some of the rumblings about this. In particular, I heard a wee brief section of an interview for Rory McIlroy, is that his name? Talking about folk that had left the PGA Tour and how he didn't seem particularly happy with them.
Well, that's his personal opinion. He's all for the PGA, isn't he?
Right.
So I think the PGA was threatening players, like if you go and compete at this tournament or this event, then we're going to suspend you for PGA Tour.
Right, aye.
It didn't get the. I don't think it had the desired effect on the players, because there was a lot of them. Just 48, I believe. 48 players were just like, all right, see you later.
That's how many left?
48 players in that tournament. 17.
Jesus.
You're talking 40 of the best in the world, like 40 of the top 100 probably.
How many players are on the PGA Tour?
Oh, thousands and thousands. Like.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but
it's the main tour in America.
Well, the world really, PGA Tour. But yeah, so 17 of them, like top players, got suspended. Phil Mickelson being one of the biggest names here. You must have heard that name, right?
I think so. Aye. It sounds very similar to Jack Nicholson. He's the legend, isn't he, in golf, or one of.
Aye, Mickelson as well.
Rings a bell, at least.
Aye, and then we had like a Bryson DeChambeau. I think he's going to go as well. But I mean, everybody's just up in arms because they're getting paid a lot of money to go to this tour, right, for this event, and the PGA doesn't want it for whatever reason. I'm not really sure of the reasons. I think they see it as a threat, but like it's not really a threat, because they can still play in the PGA and play in those tours if they're allowed. But obviously,
right.
I think the problem is the financial disparity. I see Dustin Johnson's reportedly been paid $150 million to commit to a LIV, whereas he'd only ever earned $74 million in his whole career leading up to this. So it's your classic Saudi sports washing, and I think it's kind of where's your moral compass? I think it's the big question when it comes to this. Similar to the Newcastle takeover by the Saudi royal family, it's their public kind of sporting fund again that's being utilised for this. So it's, I don't know.
I think one of the things that they were saying was the PGA were saying is that they work to create players and make the best players in the world, etc., etc. These guys just want to use them to make money. But I mean, if you're being honest, the PGA just uses its players to make money as well. So, like, you know,
Aye, it's not the best argument.
do you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool.
What they're really saying is, we put a lot of work into these guys. You can't take them away from us.
So I just obviously I just don't understand why they can't just play it in all two.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Because these guys were like, we're still playing PGA. This was before they signed anything, and the PGA was like, well, no, if you go and play there, you can't play. But I was like, why?
I've got to say that as much as I don't like or support the kind of sports washing idea, Saudi seems to be at the forefront of that. They're very actively pumping money into sports and trying to make themselves look good. I don't like that. However, I'm very much in favour of avoiding monopolies, sports and stuff like that. So I don't see any reason why there couldn't be a competitor to a PGA Tour, or indeed why they couldn't just coexist, that you don't need to have them be competitors as well. So there's no reason to not have other opportunities out there to make money. But
I think
just get over
if you look at it
yourselves
from a golfer's point of view, that's the way they'll see it, is why should I be told I can only compete here? Like,
yeah,
because it's their career at the end of the day, I suppose. And obviously, if you're looking after yourself and your family, you want to pick the one that's going to provide for your family long term more successfully, which obviously, unfortunately, well, again, Saudi regime aside, it's a lot of money. Like, it's, I don't know how I'd feel in the situation as a sportsman and that kind of thing. Because obviously, I mean, you look at the kind of nonsense that goes on in Saudi Arabia with the way they treat people, human rights in the media. Obviously, there's the American journalist bloody get his fucking head cut off or something ridiculous, wasn't it? Like, so it's there's a lot about Saudi Arabia that I very much disagree with, but it's, I think for me, the biggest thing in the world is it's sad how everybody just kind of like, nobody's prepared to kind of face this, because look at all this money. Like, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, effectively, which is really sad. Like, that's judged as a much more important sort of common denominator rather than we're right or wrong. Like, I mean, you're seeing it right now. Like in football, with Newcastle United, like they're the new cool thing right now, because they're getting scores of money pumped in. Their club infrastructure totally and utterly rewritten in a more positive way. And that's great and all that, because they're a big, massive team with this great history, but the money's coming from somewhere that maybe Disney behave quite as well as they maybe should.
Aye. I totally get that, like, you know, but at the end of the day, when people have millions and millions of dollars put in front of you, like, the chances are you just got to take it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so they're paying me to play a sport that I love, so fuck it.
I think that's the way to look at it.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not their position to get into politics, like,
aye.
And I know.
Yeah, that's it. I'm in a weird place, what I've got to say, because I mean, looking at Newcastle specifically, like, I'm kind of the mindset that, like, if there's folk out there, regardless of their affiliations, if they're not doing anything that's directly illegal in terms of how it affects the money and what they're doing with it, then there's no reason they can't fire money into the club. But then at the same time, I also feel like we should call a spade, and we should, like, it can be really easy, especially if you're like a diehard Newcastle fan and you don't want to have any kind of questions in your mind about it. It would be really easy to say, oh, well, they can't be that bad, you know what I mean? They can't be that. They're supporting the club and they're doing this for us and that. They can't be that bad. But, you know, let's be real, like, okay, they've got their own set of rules and stuff like that, but I mean, realistically, in this day and age, they don't adhere to what anybody or any of the kind of Western nations certainly would say are like basic human rights. You know what I mean?
Conversely, there's also an argument for being. Would you be proud of having an American owner currently? I don't think you would.
Well, I mean,
it's maybe a bit controversial to say, but I don't know if you would. Like, I mean, I fair enough in the Far East, they maybe have very tight laws towards things and how they live their life socially and all that. But if my club's owned by an American owner, coming for what's happened over there with the abortion laws,
right?
Fuck that.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
It's certainly not the same thing.
It's not the same.
Oh no, man, I'm pretty outraged with that policy, lads.
As an individual, right, I could have been against that, but you know, against the law, the decision to overturn it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have no say in it. That's the court. So you can't tar me with a brush saying like, "Oh, look," do you know what I mean? It's like, no, I thought,
but that's what I mean. Like,
fish here. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure there's plenty of normal Saudi Arabian men who don't agree with how their government behaves, but can he?
Exactly. So like the public investment fund is the government, right? So
that's what I was going to say.
That's where the difference is.
Yeah.
You get, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's a
controversy on
maybe we'll talk about the Roe Wade a bit later, man. But fuck.
No, I don't think it's wise for us to wade into the subject. I mean, I think we can all fully agree that we would all support a woman's right to abortion, and we think it's nonsense what's happening over there. I think that's safe to say, lads. But at the same time, like, this isn't a politics
depth of it, man.
show. Like, it's not for us to wade into. But I mean, if you're interested, that's where our beliefs are. It's bloody nonsense what they're doing. But moving on.
We only do sports politics, okay? Not about sports politics, you know. Wimbledon. Have you heard what's going on in Wimbledon?
Everybody's doing it.
Tennis, I heard,
Aye. Just tennis.
Bats, moz,
There's some
strawberries, thins.
Ice cream.
Especially.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, they banned Russian and Belarusian players for playing at Wimbledon, right?
Right.
But now, tennis, the ATPE and WTA, World Tennis Association, there you go, they've decided now that because they've banned Russian and Belarusian players playing at Wimbledon, that Wimbledon will now not be, you won't be able to get any points, no ranking points from Wimbledon.
So it will not affect the world rankings?
No, it will. Because you lose points. So you gain points, and the way tennis works is so Djokovic, right? Novak Djokovic gained 2,000 points last year. Now he gets to try and win them back. If he doesn't win any back, he drops down. Down places. It's strange. So there's a lot of players who are like, what's the point in even playing? Because they can.
Right.
I know.
That hurts my brain. What kind of backwards ass way of running things is that? So the points that you accrue during a season are directly affected by how well you did in the last season.
Mm-hmm.
That seems so dumb. So if
like,
you have an off
Djokovic,
year, it's going to hurt you more than just the case of no making as many points. It'll be worse for you.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly a good season the year before.
So here's a so Djokovic, if he doesn't retain, obviously he can't retain the 2,000 points. Last year, he could be overtaken by another player who's like 680 points behind him by playing another tournament. Like, it's crazy. So I don't know how they've came to this disagreement.
Right.
I think it could have.
I don't know if this will clear things up or not, right? But I've got a bit of a definition thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Tennis rankings were based on a point system that adds up players' 18 best results in the previous 52 weeks. In order to earn ranking points, tennis players must participate in events hosted by the International Tennis Federation, the ATP, and the WTA. The number of points earned by the player depends on the round the player loses. It's when they go out of the tournament. It doesn't specify anything about season to season.
It's over the last year.
But it's based on your last 18. No, it's based on your best 18 performances for the last year.
Last year. So each week it gets updated.
Strange one, very strange.
So Wimbledon had said it wasn't prepared to be used to benefit the propaganda machine of the Russian regime. Aye. And then they decided to take it. The WTA that decided to take away the points system from them for banning Russian and Belarusian players. I don't know why. I don't know what the sense in that is.
Of course, the big controversy is because currently in the game of tennis, number 1 ranked player is Daniil Medvedev, who is, of course, Russian.
Yes, that's right.
And Rublev is also top 10 Russian.
Aye, that's right.
So there were genuine kind of trophy hopes for Russian players this year at Wimbledon.
Right. Aye, you're right.
Has that been involved? Why the decision's been made? Don't know.
Aye, so the WTA and the ATP, they want them to keep playing. They don't want them to be banned.
They're trying to stay out of the kind of the politics, basically.
Yeah.
See, Andy Murray's kind of fit again as well for it, at least.
Aye, I mean, I don't really.
He's fitter than he's been for a long time, effectively.
Aye.
But he's working with what a metal weapon,
Don't know what hopes I have for him winning, but aye.
I think he got to finally a tournament leading up to it, though.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen.
I can't wait to hear that he's done well. Then I'll put on his match and he'll get beat, because that's usually what happens. That's my experience at Andy Murray. He's got a semi-final. You put it on and it's just him moping about, going, "Oh, come on!" While he gets beat.
He's getting beat.
Oh, come on! Doing that voice like a bloody petulant teenager.
Well, anyway,
it's a weird. Move us on for this.
Get back to the point I was trying to make was it's split tennis players. So it has down the middle. You have some who are saying, "Oh, this is ridiculous. We shouldn't because we're losing ranking points, etc., etc." And then you have others who are saying, "Oh, I don't care. I'm just going out there to try and win the tournament." Do you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, they're still getting. If they win the tournament, they're still getting like 2 million or 10 million. Or
it's still a massive big payday. Aye, it's still a major.
No, aye. Wherever they finish, they'll be getting money from it. So it doesn't mean.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if I think about rankings,
what's Novak Djokovic? What's his opinion? Because he usually makes a lot of sense.
Don't know. I don't know. All I know is Andy Murray's. Andy Murray's opinion is,
"Oh, come on!"
Nobody's thinking about ranking points when you're serving to win the title. Like, you know.
So,
true.
It's pretty true.
So, come on, just go on with it.
Come.
It's like, did you ever mind his reaction to Davy Marshall saving that penalty? It's just him going, "Yes, get in." Get in. Like, couldn't be any more deadpan if he tried. "Yes, get in."
Oh, man.
He can have a laugh at himself, I'll give him that.
Novak, he disagrees with them getting banned.
Of course he does.
Aye.
Completely unsurprisingly.
He's in disagreement with the ban. He said involvement in politics and sports is crazy, which, well, most of the time, aye.
I have a very low opinion of that man nowadays.
Aye, you know.
As the months and years roll on, he appears to be a real prick. He really does.
He's a wido. That's all.
A wido. He's a big wido.
Oh,
oh, jeez, oh.
Oh, man.
It's a lean kind of month though for sports now, isn't it? Like see this kind of stage in sport, the sporting year.
Well, especially football and F1 is a break this week, but football is just transfers, man. It's can't sit and talk about transfers already.
Oh, gee, I mean, do you know? That's the thing I notice in social media. This is the new thing that the Sun do, where this could be this team's potential lineup. And it's just a list of bloody players that don't play for this team. I've never been linked with this team. It's basically just speculation and want it be cool from said journalist who's written it. Like,
it's ridiculous,
clickbait
man.
nonsense.
I miss the good old days when you had to wait to see it in the paper. Who'd signed?
We picture of them smiling in the new cool cat.
Oh, did you see? I think it was Paul. You sent me a post with Aidan McGeady signing for Hibs.
He's signing with a multicoloured pen.
Mick, have you seen this?
No.
Oh, wait a minute, Mick. Hold up. I will send you if I haven't already.
Yes.
If I have indeed, check your Instagram messages for the. It's from Fitba Patter, so it is.
Oh.
And just scroll along and enjoy. Have you came across it?
Have me on it.
So it's just before the one actually. Side note: the new Aberdeen home kit, by the way, gorgeous, gorgeous, very nice bit of retro there.
It's tasty.
Absolutely lovely kit.
I do. It is lovely. It is lovely. Wee pinstripes that guys.
Very, very retro, very kind of 80s, early 90s Aberdeen when they were getting their Adidas kits made then. So the Aidan McGeady, so scroll along. So it's a picture of him signing his contract with one of the multicoloured pens you got when you're in primary school.
How is it?
He on the pens you could give this, man.
He must have brought that with him.
Surely that's a bit of banter, eh?
I'm hoping it was him just for a wind up, just for a laugh, right? Because see, if no, that is shocking for Hibs. No one of them.
On him the multicolour. He can sign it in green if he wants.
Oh, God.
Outstanding, isn't
it? Brilliant. You see, Jesus is well, the reporting is a pretty much done deal to Arsenal.
Aye, Gabriel Jesus for Man City, aye.
That'd be a signing for them.
45 million, aye. I mean, seems he's been a decent player for Man City. Has he been as good as what they thought he'd be? Probably no.
Probably no. But you see, the thing is, they've used him in different ways. That's the thing.
Aye.
They've put him out wide. They've dropped him a bit deeper, and
maybe he suits Arsenal.
Maybe he'll suit the way that Arteta. I mean, obviously Arteta's had a working relationship with him, so
he was obviously
being assistant manager there at City, so he knows what he's all about. So he's buying him for a reason.
I feel like it's not really kicked off yet, though. There's nothing's really kind of broke ground yet this year so far for transfer kind of window time.
No madness, apart from Haaland.
I was reading about Bale. He was away to LA.
Oh, of course. That maybe is worth talking about. That's
Los Angeles Football Club.
LAFC.
That's the one, aye.
I couldn't think of a more tailor-made club for that guy at this stage of his career, by the way. Going to America. He's a Galactico, he's a superstar footballer, and he's away to live in LA and play in LA.
He'll be living life.
By the team that's owned by all the celebrities like Will Ferrell and all that have a stake in LAFC.
All right.
Can't wait to see the Will Ferrell Gareth Bale selfie, because it's coming. It'll happen.
Aye.
It's going to happen soon.
The thing is, with the rich folk and all, they love to play golf too, so.
Exactly. He's going to be out golfing with Will Ferrell in no time. It's a certainty.
I think this is just, not that he needs to earn a bit more money before the end of his career, because at Real Madrid he was getting paid quite a lot.
An obscene amount.
So, I mean, obviously he's going to be getting paid a whack tonight as well, but I get on him.
Couple more years and he'll be out. Just keep his fitness for the World Cup.
New country, well, new side of the world, to be honest. The Real Madrid fans treated him terrible. for what he done for Real Madrid. Oof, they treated him terribly.
I think they've got to be down as one of the worst types of football fans in the world, by the way, Real Madrid fans.
Real Madrid, aye.
What's wrong with them, by the way?
Oh, God.
What's honestly wrong with them?
I don't know. They're, aye. I mean...
Because he's not a big-time bastard. I mean,
so
that's what it boils down to.
Sorry. I couldn't hear you talking. What's his name? French boy, Mbappe. So all the Real Madrid fans are, I don't want him again. Hopefully he never comes here or whatever. Mm-hmm. And somebody interviewed Perez the other day. Perez is being the president of Real Madrid, right? And he's like, he said he wants to be a Real Madrid player. He's young, couple of years, and he'll be at Real Madrid one day. Nothing against him. He's still young. He got a ridiculous offer at PSG, so of course he's got to take it. No hard feelings. Like, you know what I mean? That's the president who was trying his most to get to him and actually thought he had him signed, and then for him to turn around and sign with PSG. But the fans are, fuck him, that's it.
Oh, they've been burning effigies of him in the streets of Madrid. They're that kind of guy, honestly, man. They're so angry.
Man. Idiots. Barcelona fans are just as bad, by the way.
Aye.
It seems to be they two in Spain. Like, all the rest of the fans seem to be alright, but just them two.
Aye,
so
seems
toxic.
To be. Aye, very toxic. I mean, look at the classic one with Luis Figo getting a pig's head chucked at him at the Nou Camp.
Aye.
Getting a corner and a fan lobs a bloody Heedy pig at him.
Mm-hmm. Michael, you don't remember that?
No, I can't say a day, man.
Aye, so it was during a classical game. Obviously, he went to Real Madrid for mega bucks.
Aye.
And I mean, imagine being the fan that's walking into the Nou Camp with the pig head under your jacket. Where you go the other day, Pedro? Oh, none, pal, none. Yeah, just juice. Just my juice. Pedro, that looks awful suspicious. Hey, just don't ask any fucking questions, right? Don't worry about it. Have a plan. Wait till they're fucking corner. It's absolutely batshit. Wild.
I mean, aye. I mean, do you know what I found strange? Fraser Forster going to Tottenham.
The Wall of Barcelona, as he was known before.
Aye. For Southampton to Tottenham. I don't know. What's he going there for? Anyway.
For a good wee payday as a backup goalkeeper, basically.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yep.
I can. Yeah, so I can. But your team there, Paul, Everton, they've let go of a few folk, haven't they?
They're a lot of them have went. A lot of the kind of big money wastes.
Sigurdsson, he's away. Tucson's away. Delph's away. John Joe Kenny, he's away. Right.
Once of Celtic on loan.
Right.
Once upon a time.
One of the why Neil Lennon? Why did he a right back on loan? Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. He's
back to that season.
He's went back to the well with his new team, by the way. You know, he's managing in Cyprus now.
Aye, he's in Cyprus.
Aye, he's signed Adam Matthews over there for his team. Ammonia.
Oh, I didn't see he signed Adam Matthews.
Aye, Adam Matthews, I went for Adam Matthews. Obviously, ex-Celtic.
He had a lot of potential, that boy.
He never really went anywhere after leaving Celtic as well. I think he went down south to try kind of have a crack at being a Premier League player, and it all just kind of went tits up, obviously.
The Welsh boy, wasn't he?
Aye, Welsh fella, aye.
He is Welsh. No,
aye. I was once a Welshman.
Oh, random football thing.
Oh,
if Man U go ahead with redeveloping Old Trafford, their debt will hit $1 billion.
1 billion. Right,
that is scary, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. $1 billion of debt.
That's ridiculous, man.
Aye. But that's crazy. Imagine being imagine just having $1 billion.
How could that be considered a fucking like a profitable, tangible business. You know what I mean? Like, how do you
The
continue
thing
going?
is, they make hundreds of millions per year, though. Like, 8 years they would pay that off. Like,
Wild.
they're like, you've seen the way they are. Well, they've been shit for years, yet they continue to fork out monster fees. They're rich despite themselves now. They're at that stage of rich. Filthy rich.
And they've got fans all over the world too, so that they, when they
They're
see
too
when
big
they
to
do
fail.
these big, like pre-season friendlies, like the tours they go on, they go to Asia, they go to America, and just like fans buy all the shirts.
Oh, it's like a home game.
Ridiculous prices. Like,
It's not a home game.
it's crazy.
Absolute wild.
You know what else is wild? Last one on the fit here is 30-year-old Sadio Mane going to Bayern Munich for 35 million.
Oh, aye. I suppose
And
that
he's
is
on his last year of his contract.
at Liverpool, aye.
At Liverpool.
Right.
That's crazy.
I feel like that's now the new Man United Liverpool, like the way they do their business, innit? You know, I think though. Like nobody's getting, they never age. They're not letting their team age out at all. Like
No,
you probably find Bobby Firmino will be gone soon too.
Bobby Firmino will probably go. And I've actually seen that they would be willing to sell Salah for like 65 million or something.
Aye,
Like, I mean, they've
mental.
brought folk in. Aye, they've got like the younger players there who have all this potential and that just need more game time at the top level.
aye.
So, I mean,
aye.
They'll be fine.
They spent a fortune in Nunez. They've got Diogo Jota. They've got bloody Luis Diaz. They've got their next lot ready to go. It's just like they're signing Ramsey now. Like
Aye,
they're preparing for life if Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't work out long term, because obviously he's a great attacking full wing back, but he's very suspect defensively. So they're going for like a right-footed Robertson, basically.
do you see? Oh, sorry, not see. I had a conversation, with a Liverpool fan the other day, and him and some other folk, they seem to have this this notion that Trent is going to move up into midfield, and Ramsey's going to be at starting right back between Ramsey and what's the other name? Nico Williams or something.
All right.
I was like, that'd be pretty cool. Imagine being 19 and just smashing into that squad, like going from Aberdeen to Liverpool.
Oh, I mean,
Loving it.
look at the boy. I mean, he starts his career effectively last season.
Aye.
Like 18-year-old. He's only played 38 games and he's ended up at Liverpool. Like, it's wild. Abs, what?
Aye.
Up curve.
He is a good player. Don't get me wrong.
He's built like a man. Like,
Aye. He's a very good player. But some people were saying, but his output wasn't great for Aberdeen. It's like, well, see if you look at it, the chances he created were pretty high. It's just that Aberdeen didn't they have the sharpest tools in the shed from the attacking standpoint, to capitalise on his opportunities that he made. So he can do it. He's great. And I mean, for Scotland, that's amazing as well, because we get Nathan Patterson. If he what's the word I'm looking for there?
continues to improve.
Improve the way that we think that he can. It would be brilliant for us. Calvin Ramsey as well. That would be brilliant for us.
Aye, absolutely.
But anywho, well, we can stop talking about football. We can talk about something else.
I've got something to ask you.
Aye.
Go for it.
I've been avoiding bringing it on to MMA Mash. What do you make a what's his name? Jake Paul and Tommy Fury
Tommy Fury
signing on to headline. Like, them fighting's neither here nor there, but they're set to headline Madison Square Garden.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, it's
Make a mockery of boxing.
sci-fi levels are mental. And you know what? It'll sell out because it's Jake Paul.
And supposedly So obviously, Jake Paul's company manages or promotes Serrano, Amanda Serrano, right?
Yep.
So obviously she lost to Katie Taylor, and there was a lot of chat about them potentially having a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Now looks like Serrano will feature as a co-headliner and fight God knows who.
Which
so
again,
is she making a terrible decision because of that nutcase that's...
or is it a good
So-
thing because so many eyes will be on her in a boxing match
Well,
of
I
high
suppose it's-
quality? Like,
You know what I mean? Is she going with the money kind of thing? Or... But I mean,
but I mean,
surely
that,
the rematch between her and Taylor would be just about the biggest thing in women's boxing.
I mean,
Seems
that's
a bit
obviously sporting wise, that's obviously what you'd like to see. But then again, you've got to look at it for women's boxing as a whole. What a showcase they get! Like, aye, fair enough. You get the nonsense fight, which is obviously celebrity versus celebrity.
Yeah.
But there's all these eyes watching. They've never been able to watch boxing before. They get to watch this absolute phenom of a woman kicking arse.
But then the
Well, all
counter
these-
argument is that then one of the absolute best in the world in terms of women's boxing succumbing to the notion that women's boxing is a sideshow because it's been the co-headliner of a sideshow, effectively. No, I'm not saying that it is, but I would say that's a counter argument. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That it potentially delegitimises women's boxing.
I think there's multiple ways you look at it. I can see that argument that it's on a sideshow card effectively, and that's no good. But then they fought for fucking years even just to have any recognition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that fight with Serrano and Taylor was a one-off, effectively. Like so far,
Yeah.
I mean, it is like as far as attention gets, that's out there on its own, and that's thanks to Jake Paul's name in a lot of ways helping to promote that. Whether you like that notion or no,
I
it's
don't know if I agree with that.
aye, but it's got to have some effect.
Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano had big names in boxing well before Jake Paul got near them.
Oh, I'm not saying they didn't, mate, but
No, but I think what Paul's
his
saying
effects
is
go to help. Like whether
he was a part of setting up that fight, I think is what he's saying, and making
technically,
the fight to be what it was.
But I personally think that would have sold out Madison Square Garden regardless of involvement.
I would like to think so. So. And I
think
imagine it would.
aye.
But him assures it. Didn't Harvey like for me? I think
It
is
assures
the way I would see
it for him, but
him presenting it helps.
I'm sure it would have sold out anyway. If it got pushed to it, it would have. Whose decision was it to have it at Madison Square Garden? That's the next thing. Who pushed for it to be there?
Don't know. Was it Jake Paul?
I feel like he'd have been trying to sell it as big as possible. Aye, he's all about the hyperbole.
And then, but maybe the lassie, I'm getting back to earlier when you two were talking, maybe the lassie just wants money. She knows that she's going to go into this sideshow and make a bunch of money.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Aye.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's like, I've been boxing for how long? You know what I mean? I've made X amount of money and then fighting here on this show or this event is going to make me X amount of money. That is far better than what I've made before, far superior. Could just be that as well.
Aye, I mean it's all going to be considered. Like
there was something else that I was happened in boxing the other day. I can't mind what it was. I wanted to ask you about it. I don't know, but anyway, did you see about the Triple G and Canelo?
Pass.
that guy.
How about it?
But you know they're fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's getting a bit personal now. So, Triple G was saying that Canelo's been avoiding him, like he's scared of him and this and that, and Canelo's like, Canelo usually doesn't really have much to say, but he's like, nah, this is personal now. I'm gonna destroy him. He's talking shit. I've been out there fighting the best of the best every time I can. Like, I ain't been avoiding nobody. So that'll be an interesting fight. When is it? September?
I believe so.
Aye. So that'll be a good.
Usyk and AJ set to fight in Abu Dhabi. Why? Shit, I don't remember. Abu Dhabi, I think.
UAE. That's all I know.
UAE.
I kind of wanted you to say something really cool there, like fighting in a top of a mountain. fighting on a beach. Like there's something about out there. Nah, it's just where the rich people are.
Fighting in the Louvre.
Louvre?
Right in front
I
of
like that. That wee triangle.
What's the painting?
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. That's
Mona
the one.
Lisa.
Mona Lisa pure judging them as she always does with everybody that walks by her. Not quite sure of them at all, is she?
Saudi Arabia.
That's in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
Oh, is it
Arabia on the
Saudi
20th
Arabia?
of August.
Shit, I thought it was UAE. Oh well, there you go.
There you go, indeed.
Every man in the dug's gone to Saudi. Well, I mean, Ages already fought there, didn't he? That's when he lost to. Is that not where he lost to? What's his name?
I think he rematched with Ruiz Jr. over there, am I right in
That's
saying?
what I believe
Was
that's
it a
where he
rematch over
gained the title.
right,
Titles
right.
plural. It's been dubbed the Rage on the Red Sea, and it'll take place in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, the magical kingdom of Jeddah. Of course, WWE love them. That's what it's known as to WWE Universe audience. The magical kingdom of Jeddah. I remember that in a wrestle match way back when. God. Tell you what, lads, can I quickly plug something here, lads, just while we're here? Since it's the aftermatch. So, I am running the 5K Tough Mudder
Indeed, aye.
on Saturday, which will obviously be this Saturday when the podcast comes out. So I'm running for Sense Scotland along with my missus's family. 15A is going to be great fun. But if you would like, guys, we would love it if you could donate just a wee few pound. We've got a wee target up. One of my missus's cousins created a page for it, and we'll just try to get this kind of wee target we've set up to the kind of goal. So we have any wee contribution, awesome. I cannot wait to do it. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. All the obstacles, no, nearly as much of the running. So perfect for me, who does not like to run. Only a 5K, so effectively we worked it out. I think it's 13 obstacles still, so there's only 480 odd metres between obstacles. So
Just
I run around
a lap
that.
of a track.
Ah,
and then an
lap of a
obstacle.
track, obstacle, perfect. That's
not bad.
absolutely sound as a pound. Yep. Can't wait for it, man. Can't wait to be manky, frozen, and battered and bruised probably once I fall off everything.
Are you planned on like getting a tetanus shot before you go or something?
I know, man. That's something you never think about is how many people are in that water wakey through the day. But no, that'll care by the time we
I
get into it, man.
I would acquire some like antibacterial soap or something. Immediately scrub
taking
yourself in your body.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, man. I've done it once before, nearly finished it, had to pull out due to my running mate at the time injuring herself. So I'm looking forward to getting my headband this time. Gonna be great
Fair
fun.
play, man. We'll fucking chuck for me. Well played to the lotties.
Aye.
That's a cool thing, man. Especially, it's obviously like it's. I mean, if my honest opinion is that Tough Mudder's stupid, but and the fact that he's doing it for charity, like I totally applaud that, man. So
Aye.
well played.
So,
I would totally support you sharing that on all the socials, on Tattie socials. See if anybody wants to contribute.
Quality, man. We will indeed endeavour to do so.
Michael only thinks it's stupid because he can't do it.
I thought it was stupid while I was still fit. Thank you very much.
20 years ago, he'd have been all
He'd have been
about
up
it.
there,
No, see the thing, right?
absolutely shouting bro woos once he crossed the finish line.
Here is the thing. I'm all for I hate running, right? I'll be completely forward with that. Can't do
So that's
any
you
running.
straight away.
Anything longer
Running?
than 100
Nope.
metres is too much cardio, right?
Too much cardio. It's a sprint
Now, bear in
race.
mind, right, I played rugby for years, right? So, like, all you do is run up and down the pitch. So, like, I could run back then. Just wasn't a fan.
Aye.
Did not enjoy it. Especially
Running
running
without
for
a
running's
purpose.
sake, man. That is the most boring thing on
That's
this
what I'm
planet.
saying.
Aye.
Can't deal with
Jesus.
going jogging. No, that's not for me either.
Where was I going with this? All right, Tough Mudder. Right, so I'm
you don't like Tough Mudder.
all for an obstacle course. Love an obstacle course, right? It's the mud and the nonsense that goes with that, or the hunters of folk running through a big muddy puddle just
Piling in it.
just so they can take a picture and say, "Look at us, we did a Tough Mudder." You know what I mean? Like, got away and do an obstacle course somewhere, or away and go and do a run. You don't need to add in the mud and the nonsense. The palaver.
Well, most obstacle courses have mud
Are
on
muddy.
them. But
They are indeed muddy.
just sorry.
Well, fine.
On the upside for Tough Mudder, I'll let you up. It's a charity and it's there for
It's a charity event. Aye.
Your money you're paying to enter is immediately donating to charity effectively to do it.
Was that right?
Aye. So, I mean, it was set up. I'm sure it's ex-army people that set up Tough Mudder, wasn't it? And that's the kind of the idea behind it all. Is it goes to donating to charity, basically. Like,
There you go. Oh, well,
aye,
I
so it's
support
a
that.
charity. Aye, that's at its core. It's all about charity. Like, and that's what it kind of funnels back into. Obviously, only money spent on it is to keep it running. The rest goes to charity. Any profits out to other people, which is pretty cool. It fucking sucks while you're doing it, but you feel good for doing it. Like you get a great sense of achievement, especially when it's the ones that I'm going to hate the most are the claustrophobic ones. That's what I'm really not looking forward to. And there are a couple of them where you are, like, it's basically like kind of, it's like marine style kind of training sort of things. Some of these obstacles are like to replicate. So you're going through tunnels where you're like, there is hee-haw space between your nose and the edge of the tunnel as you're trying to army crawl through this thing. Like, it's that bit I'm not looking forward to. Like, that sucks.
Do you get to like size yourself up with the kind of things before you do it?
You don't need to do them. This is the good thing about it though. Like, you don't need to. Like, if there's something where you have a phobia, like with heights, for instance, if something's too high, you don't want to do it, you don't need to do it.
Right.
So you can just move on past that obstacle. Obviously, everybody's trying to help everybody get around it. It's not a race as such. Like,
Right. My
You're not
thought,
doing
my
it
thought
as a
was
race.
just that, like, you know, like if they're doing like something where there's like a really tight tunnel, and then somebody comes along who's got particularly wide shoulders or a particularly large girth, and then they get
who's
stuck,
got a bigger frame.
that could be a potential issue.
Oh God, aye. I would believe that anybody who's too big for a tunnel is going to be told by the attendants at it, nah, no for you, mate, you're too big. Like,
Fair enough.
and I imagine, I'm sure there is one where you climb up through a very tight space while water's getting poured on you. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
It's effectively like fucking
Spot of
waterboarding.
waterboarding. Girl spot of waterboarding.
I don't know if I'm up for that. I'm not going to lie, lads. I'm not going to lie.
Love a bit of waterboarding all morning.
All you need is like a hood over your face while you're doing it, and you're straight up getting waterboarded, man.
Only experience I've got is Grand Theft Auto, man. Get old Trevor getting torn into that guy. Nobody fucks with Trevor.
Trevor.
Right, I think it might be time
GTA
to
6, by the way.
Right.
What?
Sorry, GTA 6. Oh, in fact, Michael, by the way, what's all this going on about Nate Diaz? What's he want to leave UFC? What's
Right,
going on?
so the crack is he wants to do what he wants when he wants. He would like to go and make some money doing some boxing. The UFC currently isn't too keen on that sort of patter, so they're being reluctant and doing much with him. They apparently offered him a fight with Kazmat Chimaev, I think it was.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Somebody like that. And Diaz,
Ouch.
like, allegedly, right, I'm not speak for him, but allegedly he was basically saying, look, like, I'm a star, get me a big fight. I'm not here to fight an up and comer. I'm not a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Big fights only. The UFC wasn't giving him a big fight, so he's like, right, like, I can go and box Jake Paul, or I can go and do this, or I can go and do that, and I can make some money. Like, so how's about, like, we set something up? Nah, I'm not having that. So then he's just like, release me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing an
Was Andy taking a piss in the wee bush outside the UFC headquarters?
Sorry, what did you say, Paul?
Did he not take a piss in the bush outside the UFC headquarters? Did I not see a picture of that?
It was, aye.
I thought that.
He's being very Nate Diaz currently.
I mean, that
He's
is.
doing all the
I bet
nonsense. Aye.
I bet you was shouting Stockton, motherfucker, while he did the piss, didn't he?
Probably. Joining his mouth. Like,
The Stockton stream.
here's the thing, right? I love Nate Diaz. I love Nick Diaz. I love that they're absolute characters. I love that they do their own thing and speak their mind. But I've got to say, at times, they come across as very childish and very undereducated, right? Now, I don't say that as a way of slagging them. It's just fact. It's just, it is what it is, man. This situation, like, I get where he's coming from, and it could be handled so much better. You know what I mean? He could be working with the UFC to basically ensure that he gets a big money fight. I think he's only one fight left in his contract. I think that's half the bother. He's not signing a new deal. He wants a big money fight, and then he'll decide what he's doing after that. The UFC's like, no, you're staying in that contract, or you're signing a new contract. They're not keen on just letting him walk, sort of thing. So I can see it getting messier before anything comes with it. Unfortunately. But we're at a strange time, I've got to say, with MMA and with UFC in particular, because love it or hate it, the Paul brothers have made it clear that, you know, this kind of sideshow style, celebrity style boxing can make a lot of money.
Yep.
And a large percentage of the fighters in the UFC, like a very large percentage, could make more money by taking on some sort of celebrity style boxing match, or by taking on a Paul brother, or whatever it's going to be, some other fucking YouTuber or something. They could go and make more money doing that than what they do, even if it's on the undercard, like a Jake Paul fight or something. They could potentially make more money than they do in a normal year with the UFC. So, aye, it's going to be an interesting couple of years, because I think there's going to be a few folk are going to elect to no re-sign with the company and go and explore other options for a bit. But
Just takes a
anyway.
couple of the big stars today, and then it just starts crumbling.
Yeah, I think we should consider wrapping it up there. What do you think?
Aye.
Yes, we've said all that needs to be said. And
We've had a fun chat about, like, I mean, everything just about. We've covered many areas.
Willingly or unwillingly.
We've stumbled into some political fucking quagmires.
Yeah.
Giggity.
We've come out the other side. I mean, obviously, this is yet to go public, so we might get dragged back in. But so far, so good. Right. If you have been, thank you very much for listening. If you have got any questions, comments, concerns, etc., hit us up on the socials. Check out the website, midweekmashtattie.com. You can leave us a voicemail on there, or you can contact us by email or the contact form. If you've got suggestions for topics to discuss or guests to have on the show for future episodes of the Aftermash, we would love to hear them. And also, if you've got anything to add for any of the other shows that we currently do, hit us up. It would be awesome to get some voicemails on some of the other shows with some opinions for the fans and stuff like that. That would be cool. And aye, we're having a good time doing this sort of random stuff, so I hope you enjoy listening to it. As always, I've been Mick, they have been Harvey and Paul, and we are thanking you for listening. Bye-bye, driver.
Bye!
Bye, driver.